Hi guys, take three. I have to try to get this video right. Quick update. What's on the bench? These aren't finished. I need basing, but I'm just probably going to base them to the men who would be kings rules on individual skirmish bases. I watched Ralph Ashley's game. It was a great game on the men who would be kings with the Foreign Legion via the Bedouins. Brilliant game, really enjoyed it. And I wanted to get some Foreign Legion for ages. But my favourite ever Legion encounter was Camerone. The Battle of Camerone fascinated me for years. So I decided to get this set. You get the 6 of them in the group. Come with the set from, these are Gringo 40, 28mm figures. Beautiful figures, excellent sculpts. Really, really good. Very little flash cleanup required. Just the odd little bit here and there, which you expect from metal figures. But they're excellent. Really enjoyed painting them. You get Captain Donjou there with a white glove because he lost a hand. He had a hand blown off and he refused to be invalided out the Legion. So he decided he had a wooden hand. Which is actually still paraded today now on Camerone Day. I believe it's the 30th of April. Every year they have a massive celebration about the battle. 63 legionnaires held up a force of 2,000 to 3,000 Mexicans, infantry and cavalry, all day. Captain Donjou was an excellent officer. He led the patrol. He took them out. Got attacked by Mexican cavalry in the morning, so he formed square, and the legionnaires obviously were just so cool under fire. Most of them were veterans, so they just blasted the cavalry to the left. Then they moved off again, and later they were attacked again by cavalry. Same result. Donjou knew he had to head for somewhere safer because there's not much cavalry in the area. He headed back to the farmhouse. I think it was called the Hacienda de Trinidad or something, which became Camerone. And they decided to wait it out for help, which unfortunately never ever came. But like I say, he was an excellent officer. Made sure his men were all right. Shared his last bottle of wine with all the troops. Each one got a tiny little, because they had no water. The mules and everything that they had with them, that lost them in the cavalry attacks. So they fought. Donjou was mortally wounded early on, hit in the chest. But before he died, he'd asked them not to surrender, to fight to the last man. That's where the old the last man, the last bullet. And then was Captain Villa, Lieutenant Villa. He took over. The same, another excellent officer. He kept the men together, moving from group to group, encouraging them to keep fighting until he was shot in the head and killed. And then later on in the afternoon, it was Lieutenant Maudet. He took over, and he kept the fight going all day up until the last Mexican assault came at about 6 o'clock at night. And true to their word, there was Maudet and 5 left, and they decided, right, load the last chamber, the last round, fix their bayonets, one last volley, and charge out into the Mexicans, which they did. They charged out. The Mexicans returned their fire, and I believe it was a legionnaire called Cato. He jumped in front of Maudet and was shot 19 times trying to save his officer. It was in vain because his officer was hit. Unfortunately, he died later of his wounds. Another legionnaire was hit and went down, so it just left 3 of them attacking hundreds of Mexicans. The Mexicans levelled their bayonets and were going to finish them all when the Mexican officer stepped forward and stopped them. Asked them if they would surrender, and they would only surrender on the terms that they could keep their weapons and march out, and any wounded that they had would be treated fairly and looked after, which was agreed to. and then they were escorted to the Mexican main camp. And that's when the Mexican commander just said, "What? This is all that's left. These aren't men. These are devils." And that was the third company. So a brilliant last stand by some very brave men. The figures themselves, they're quite large. They're not 40 mil, I wouldn't say, but they're really large, 28 mil. I'll put me, as you can see there, that's me Highland officer from front right. He's next to me kneeling, Legionnaire. So they are quite large than the 28 mil, but they do the whole Mexican range, so you're not going to be stuck. And even if you were, if you wanted to add different figures in, you just increase the base thickness to cover it, you know. So it's not like it's a massive problem. But like I say, they're lovely figures. Really enjoyed painting them, actually. I know I say that about everything I paint, but I did. And especially because it's something I've got a real interest in, Battle of Camerone. So just a quick ramble on about the battle. Thanks to the new subscribers, I've gained another few subscribers. That's fantastic. Really so happy that people have taken the time and trouble to subscribe and they like what I'm doing. Great updates going on, guys. If I haven't commented, I'm not ignoring you. Just sometimes I don't see people's updates, and then when I see it, I feel terrible because I haven't commented. And sometimes I'm a week, 2 weeks late sometimes. But I'll always find you, always comment. Sometimes the bell icon doesn't work for me. So that's about it. Keep up the brilliant work. Stay safe. And I'll speak to you all again very soon. Bye-bye for now, guys.